If you was like me and you saw the trailers, or you didn't see the trailers rather, you probably didn't want to see a spin on the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, because I'm 40 and I grew up in the era where I was like 10 years old. And this was one of the main shows in my foundation. I loved that show. And I was afraid that this iteration would be something a little corny, a little goofy, and not of its time. But ladies and gentlemen, if that's what's been holding you back, you gotta let it go. This show is bananas. Shout out to Will Smith finding Jabari Banks. He plays the new Will Smith, and this brother has got it. This show is not our parents' Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. This show is gritty, it's dark, and it's gonna have major family twists. As a YouTuber, I first started out telling people I only use Will Smith cuss words. That was from the 90s. All Will Smith used to say is hell and damn. Ladies and gentlemen, this show is the complete opposite. This show uses the new rated R YouTube superstar curse words. Hell, damn. This show has a degree in bad words, and it's not bad words used just to be using it. It's used at perfectly timed manners. And it just kind of feels like we done went and got the Wakanda Forever family and put them on the Peacock app. And we're going to break down episode 1 and why you guys should watch it. If you're finding me for the first time, please subscribe to the channel. Be sure to turn on notifications so when I drop videos, you guys get them. Follow me on IG and Twitter and let me know what you think about this show so far. So in the very beginning, they just played one of my favorite hip hop songs of all time, Philadelphia Freeway. It was him, Beanie Siegel, and Jay-Z on that song. I wasn't even from Philly, and I was repping that song during my high school days. And they actually have Philadelphia Freeway popping up in this thing. But one of the big things we always wanted to know when the intro for Fresh Prince used to come on, it used to talk about why he got sent to Bel-Air, but it didn't have a backstory. Well, we get our backstory, and it is a good as hell backstory. And it kicks off with this skirmish that happened on the basketball court because Will Smith was a dominant, prominent basketball player in West Philadelphia, known and loved by everybody. He was the best. But he got challenged to a basketball game by one of the homeboys who, through criminal activity, could no longer was on the street. He gets to the basketball court, and you had this brother who all they do is gamble. Look like he's one of the street lords. Said, bro, I'm going to put up some money. Will Smith said, I hope you got it in 20s. So he challenged homeboy, and this is the aftermath of what happened.
Was it you, dickhead?
Hey, he ain't throwing Rashad, too.
Who the fuck you talking to, boy?
Man, you just mad because your boy down there got chalked out. We won, they lost. Like I said, we prefer 20.
Shut the fuck up, Will. You my son, you little bitch. Get off. You better use it. Because if you don't, I'm going to smoke your dumb ass.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I'm so glad we got that backstory. And from that, of course, Will Smith gets arrested because his homeboy had a gun because he felt like this could be a dangerous situation. And Will pulled out the gun, shot it up in the air, which caused him to get arrested. And when he gets arrested, he winds up getting out of jail before everybody else, which caused Rashad, the street lord, to think that he snitched, which he didn't. And when he got out of jail, you guys can probably guess, it had something to do with Uncle Phil, Aunt Viv, and that's how he got out of jail. And from there, his mom decided, look, bro, it's too dangerous here. They're going to be trying to come get you. I'm sending you far away from here. And that's when he gets to Bel-Air. Man, that was good, man. That whole part was great. I was glad they put that in there. And from the beginning, you get sucked in with the music and the grittiness of this story. And so as he's riding to Bel-Air, instead of it being a regular old cab, you got DJ Jazzy Jeff, his buddy, driving him. And this show is full of Easter eggs to the old show. There's the dice in the window to represent the dice that he was talking about when the cab driver was driving him. And, you know, they just kind of kick off a little friendship here on this drive. Jazzy Jeff stops at the top of LA to show him around. And you can see a friendship being built between these two. And then when they finally pull up to the Bel-Air mansion, we get this brother right here who's the new Jeffrey, which is a new swagalicious as hell Jeffrey. Fresh Prince called him Idris. And when I seen this dude, I was like, uh-oh, welcome to Wakanda. Wakanda forever. Because the casting on this thing is just outstanding. The only small gripe I've got is that I would have wanted Uncle Phil to be a little fat, because his size added to his character, in my opinion, and not in a negative way, but in a good way. Everything I've ever read about James Avery, R.I.P. to that man, said that his personality, who he was, superseded his size as a human. But other than that, just nothing to complain about. And so Will arrives. He gets up in the crib. We get our first look at Aunt Vi, and I love her. I just love all this chocolateness they got in this cast. Is just wonderful. She's greeting Will. Will is like, damn, this is a crib right here. Look at the art on the wall, ladies and gentlemen. They keeping it gully. And then we get our first look at the new Hillary. At first, I was taken aback because, I'm kind of thinking we're going to have, light-skinned Hillary and all that. But quickly, when you learn what this Hillary is all about, you just forget about the old one. This is a new and improved Hillary who is a social media maven. She's basically doing a reality TV show everywhere she's go. Like right here, she's streaming on IG Live, right? And she is the one that seems is going to have a pretty strong bond with Will. I remember Will had a pretty strong bond with Ashley on the first show, and it seems like that role is going to be reversed with this new Hillary. And Hillary actually takes him upstairs, gives him some of Carlton clothes, get him dressed up because they're having a gathering at the home because Uncle Phil is running for an district attorney position. And then they walk out, Will looking fresh, got on his sneakers with his suit. And I'm loving this Hillary, and she's like, I got to go do my thing, and she went on. Will sees Uncle Phil and runs over to greet him. And when you from the hood, you dap people up and you just kind of bust up in situations. You don't know the life that someone who's made it with money is supposed to be living by. And when he runs up on Uncle Phil is kind of taken aback, and he's talking to these dudes and look like judges and other DAs who he's trying to impress with this dinner. And they kind of looking at Will with that, bruh. They got this Uncle Tom look, and Will is kind of like, man, what in the hell is going on with you guys? But then Jeffrey, Wakanda Forever, comes and saves him and gets him out of that situation. And then Will winds up meeting Ashley. Now, this is 12-year-old Ashley. This is the same young lady that was in the little girl that was in Captain Marvel. And she's playing the hell out of this role because she lets Will know that she is a 12-year-old hippie liberal. You got to just hear the dialogue between those two. And this Ashley seems like she is going to be about it in a different way. She's got political leanings already as a 12-year-old. And you learn a lot from this conversation if you go back and watch the show. And then we get into Lisa. Now, if you guys recall, Will did not meet Lisa on the original show until she was in college. Well, we got Lisa that's going to be going to Bel-Air prep already, and she's a swim person. She's swimming, and she's got pretty fast. And I like this Lisa because this Lisa represents more of what the regular girl looks like. She's got a little meat on her bones, cute, got some, brown skin. I'm loving this Lisa right here, man. Like I said, they done such a perfect job on this casting. If you guys have been afraid to watch this show, I'm going to tell you to bite the bullet and watch it. You will not be disappointed. If you're a Euphoria fan, you're going to love this show even more. This is a darker, grittier show, and they really didn't do a whole lot of comedy in this first episode. And I think we will get some. But right now, ladies and gentlemen, this is a gritty family drama, and I would implore you guys to watch it. And then we get someone who seems like they're going to be the main antagonist of the show, this new fucking Carlton. I was so mad when I seen this dude, and he's smug, he's arrogant, he's classist, meaning that he has these tendencies to lean toward rich people, denounce poor folks, and you see that from the very first conversation he has with Will. So they come over there and greet, and you can already tell how this Carlton is going to be. This is not going to be your Tom Jones dancing Carlton. This Carlton is the kind that's in your face, and he's willing to be gritty. And then we get to Will having, he's standing here in the crowd as Uncle Phil is giving a speech about why he's running for district attorney. Basically letting people know he's tired of young black males getting caught up in the system. And you see this guy putting his arm on Will, who I think is one of the judges. And this is the point when Will realizes, I'm an experiment for Uncle Phil. Uncle Phil got me out of jail to what? Make himself look good for this campaign. And this is when you start seeing Will start feeling like, man, I'm out of place here. I'm being used. He eventually has a conversation with Uncle Phil, and this is your new Uncle Phil. And he's playing the hell out of this role. It was just that I just, expected a heavier set Uncle Phil. And Uncle Phil's just like, look, bruh, this is my house. I'm the man. You know the rules. I need you to abide by them. Will is like, he's cool with it. But Will is really, really, truly feeling out of place. So much so that he tries to escape. He calls DJ Jazzy Jeff. And Jeff came to get him. But before they could escape, Uncle Phil and Wakanda Forever Jeffrey come out there, pay Jeff, and he's gone. And then we get on to a scene where they're having, he gets to go to the school with Carlton for the first time. And while he's there, he sees Lisa swimming in the pool. And this is when Lisa and him have a discussion. She's like, why don't you get in and swim with me? And Will, being like a lot of people out the hood, you never learn how to swim. Even though that trend is finally changing, thank God, Will's like, nah, I'd rather do showers than a pool. Lisa's just like, ha, ha, ha. And he timed her. And she made a time that was so fast, it's going to get her into the Olympics. And you start to like this exchange between the two. And then while they're having that exchange, Will decides to walk away. And he goes into the locker room because Carlton is a lacrosse star. And this is when the story starts to get even more deep. Will walks into a locker room where Carlton is the only black person in there. And while he's in there, the white dudes is listening to hip hop. And black folks know for the longest time, sportsy white dudes love hip hop. It gets them cranked up. But this hip hop has a whole lot of the word nigga. And they's in there singing nigga, and Carlton's all cool with it. And Will Smith is like, what the hell is y'all doing? Whole locker room, y'all can't use that word. Carlton wants him to chill out. And the dude standing up here, who's the ringleader, bumps Will walking by saying, bro, we can do what we want to do. And then they turn the music up even louder. Of course, there's going to be beef here. Carlton talks Will off the ledge, but they have a pretty heated debate because Will's like, bro, it ain't right for them to use the word. Carlton's like, man, F it. We should be able to do what we want to do. And this is when you start seeing more and more of the rift between Carlton and Will, because he's coming from the hood, listening to these rich white dudes just blasting this music like it ain't nothing, and Carlton is siding with him. And then in the next scene, we get to a point where Carlton is in here doing drugs. He told Will it was a prescription drug, but we later learned that he's in here doing cocaine, and that's why I say this story is so well timed to what we have learned since the original show came out to this day. Coke is usually called the white people's drug because white people are always doing it. Carlton is in here doing it, and they come to an agreement that, yeah, they hate each other, but for the greater good of Carlton's mom, they're just going to chill out and be cool. Then they get to this party that they're all meeting at. Carlton is in here doing coke with the lacrosse boy, and the lacrosse boy is telling him, look, Lisa used to be your girl. She's just playing hard to get. You still can get her. But what Carlton didn't realize is that Lisa is starting to fall for Will, and Will ain't even been here 48 hours, and he pulling Lisa. He gets up, coked up. You hear the ringing in his head, and Lisa and Will are kissing. You know what this punk-ass Carlton did? Runs over there, pushes Will in the pool. Will don't know how to swim, and tell Lisa, you trying to make me jealous with my cousin. Well, Will falls into the water, and ladies and gentlemen, the graphics on this thing are amazing. Another reason to watch this show. He's in the water. Lisa jumps in to save him, and then Carlton is just laughing with Lacrosse Boy. And at the very end, Will runs up on Lacrosse Boy, finally gives him some sweet chin music, knocks his ass out, and then they end the first episode with Will cocking up to hit Carlton. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know how you could do a better start to a show that was so iconic in the 90s with a new spin for this generation. This is going to be it. This is going to be a big show. They're going to be able to run this thing for at least 6 seasons. I think it's going to be bigger than what Euphoria has been, and that's no knock on Euphoria because Euphoria is a great show. But this is not only going to get the old classic Will Smith, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air watchers, but it's going to get new people for this generation. I can't wait to see what they do. Shout out to Will Smith. Shout out to everybody that helped produce this show, because the casting, the cinematography, the music, the score, the soundtrack, it is all perfect. And for the first episode, with this being on Peacock, I'm going to give this show a 10 out of 10. And you've never heard me give anything in terms of a TV show a 10 out of 10. But this iteration of The Fresh Prince gets that 10 out of 10 for me. That's going to do it for this video. Don't forget to like the video. Please comment, subscribe. Get yourself that life game. Be sure to download the Peacock app. You can watch this absolutely free, the first episode anyway, and get hooked on the new Bel-Air. Follow me on IG. Follow me on Twitter. Post your comments. Till that next Sex is Hell video. I'll see you.